Most people think that sticking to a budget means living a boring life where you have to say no to everything you love. But that is exactly why most budgets fail and why your bank account feels like a leaky bucket. If you have ever looked at your banking app on a Friday morning and wondered where $300 went when you didn't even buy anything big, you are not alone. It is a frustrating feeling that makes you want to give up on saving altogether. But what if I told you that the secret to having more money isn't just about spending less, but about spending better? We are living in a world designed to make us spend mindlessly. Everything is just one click away, and social media is constantly telling us that we need the newest gadget or a specific pair of sneakers to be happy. This leads to something called lifestyle creep. Whereas you earn more, you just find new, useless ways to spend it. Today I want to introduce you to the minimalist budget. This isn't about being cheap or depriving yourself of joy. In fact, it is the opposite. It is about radical intentionality. By the end of this video, you are going to have a step-by-step plan to plug those leaks in your bank account and finally have the money to afford the things that actually make your life better. When you hear the word minimalism, you might think of a cold, empty room with one chair and white walls. But in terms of money, minimalism is just value-based spending. Traditional budgeting is all about limits. It tells you that you can only spend $50 on clothes or $20 on movies. It feels like a diet where you are always hungry. A minimalist budget flips that around. Instead of focusing on what you can't spend, it focuses on the purpose of every dollar. Think of it like the Marie Kondo method for your wallet. If an expense doesn't serve a clear purpose or bring genuine joy into your life, it's gone. It is about clearing out the financial clutter so you can breathe. I once knew a guy named Mark who was obsessed with buying tools. Every weekend he was at the hardware store buying a new drill or a specific saw, but his garage was so messy he couldn't even find the tools he already had. He was spending money on the idea of being a handyman, not the actual work. That is financial clutter. When he switched to a minimalist budget, he stopped buying tools and started spending that money on high-quality wood for projects he actually finished. He spent the same amount of money, but he felt 100 times more successful. To fix your budget, you first have to find out where the water is leaking out. This is the audit phase. I want you to look back at every single transaction you made in the last 30 days. It sounds boring, but I promise it is eye-opening. You are looking for ghost subscriptions. These are the sneaky little $10 or $15 charges that hit your account every month for things you don't even use. Maybe it's a streaming service you signed up for to watch one show 3 years ago, or a gym membership you stopped using when the weather got nice. Then there are friction purchases. These are the small daily costs that feel like nothing at the time but add up to hundreds of dollars. Think about the $5 bag of jerky at the gas station, or the $3 soda from the vending machine at work. If you do that every workday, you are spending over $1,000 a year on snacks. You probably didn't even want that much. We also have to talk about the comparison trap. This is when we spend money just because our friends are doing it. If everyone in your office is getting the new iPhone, you feel a weird pressure to get it too, even if your current phone works perfectly fine. We spend money we don't have, to buy things we don't need, to impress people we don't even like. A minimalist budget gives you the permission to stop playing that game. So how do you decide what is actually worth your money? You need a framework. The first step is defining your core values. For some people, it's health. For others, it's travel or spending time with family. If you value health, then a high-quality grocery bill or a yoga membership is a great use of money. If you value travel, then spending $4 on a coffee every day might feel like a waste, because that money could have bought a plane ticket to Italy. A great tool to use is the cost-per-use metric. Let's say you see a pair of boots for $100. That sounds expensive. But if you wear them every single day for 3 years, they cost you about 9 cents per day. Now compare that to a $20 shirt you bought on sale that you only wore once because it fits weirdly. That shirt cost you $20 per use. The $100 boots are actually the cheaper option in the long run. Another way to look at it is the time exchange ratio. Before you buy something, calculate how many hours you have to work to pay for it. If you make $20 an hour and you want a new $200 video game console, ask yourself, is this console worth 10 hours of me sitting at my desk dealing with my boss? Sometimes the answer is yes, and that's fine. But often when you realize you have to trade 2 full days of your life for a plastic gadget, the gadget suddenly doesn't look so attractive. Categorizing your life into value zones. Let's break down how to actually organize your spending. First, you have your needs. These are the non-negotiables: rent, electricity, basic groceries, and insurance. These are the things that keep you safe and fed. Even here, you can be a minimalist by looking for the best value, but these aren't the categories we're trying to cut to zero. Then you have high-value items. These are things that improve your life across the board. For example, investing in a really high-quality mattress is a high-value purchase. You spend a third of your life sleeping. If a good mattress makes you feel more rested, you will be more productive at work and happier in your relationships. That is money well spent. On the other hand, you have low-value items. These are often purchases made out of boredom or tiredness. A classic example is ordering takeout 3 nights a week. If you are doing it because you love the food and it's a special treat, that's one thing. But if you are doing it just because you are too tired to boil pasta, that is a low-value expense. You are paying a premium price for a mediocre experience just to avoid a small amount of effort. Finally, there are the eliminated items. These are things you just stop buying altogether. Maybe you realize you don't need 100 cable channels when you only watch 1 or 2 shows. You cut the cable and just pay for the one app you need. You just saved $80 a month without losing anything you actually cared about. Changing your habits is hard, so you need some rules to help you. One of the best is the 48-hour rule. If you see something online or in a store that you want to buy, you have to wait 48 hours before you can get it. Most of the time, that must-have feeling disappears by the second day. It stops the impulse to buy things just for a quick hit of dopamine. There is also the one-in, one-out rule. This is great for clothes or kitchen gadgets. If you want a new sweater, you have to donate or sell an old one. This forces you to ask, do I love this new sweater more than my favorite old one? If the answer is no, you don't buy it. This keeps your house and your budget from getting cluttered. You should also try to automate your savings. Set it up so that a portion of your paycheck goes straight into a savings or investment account before you even see it. If the money isn't in your checking account, you won't spend it on random junk. You are essentially paying your future self first. For your daily spending, you might want to try the cash envelope method, or at least a digital version of it. Give yourself a hard limit on fun money for the month. Once that money is gone, it's gone. This makes you much more careful about whether you really want that extra drink at dinner or that magazine at the airport. The biggest benefit of a minimalist budget isn't even the money, it's the mental piece. We all suffer from something called decision fatigue. We have to make thousands of choices every day. By narrowing down what you buy and what you own, you have fewer choices to make. You don't have to stress about which of your 50 shirts to wear or which of your 10 streaming services to watch. When you only own things that add value, you start to feel a deep sense of gratitude for what you have. Instead of always looking for the next thing to buy, you look at your high-quality boots or your comfortable mattress and feel happy that you made a good choice. This stops the endless cycle of wanting more, which is the real secret to long-term wealth. Minimalist budgeting also helps you reach your big goals much faster. Whether you want to pay off student loans, build an emergency fund, or save for a house, cutting out the noise in your spending provides the fuel for those dreams. It's amazing how fast $5 here and $10 there add up when you start pointing them all in the same direction. One of the hardest parts of this journey is dealing with other people. We live in a society that uses spending as a way to hang out. Your friends might want to go to an expensive brunch or a weekend trip that you can't really afford. It's okay to say no, but you don't have to be a hermit. Instead of just saying, "I can't afford that," try suggesting a low-cost alternative. If they want to go to a $40 brunch, suggest hosting a potluck breakfast at your place or going for a hike and getting coffee afterward. Most of the time, your friends just want to spend time with you. They don't actually care about the expensive eggs. Being honest about your goals can also inspire your friends to look at their own spending. You might find out they were only going to those expensive places because they thought you wanted to. A minimalist budget isn't a destination you reach. It's a way of living that you practice every day. It gives you the permission to spend more on the things you truly love by ruthlessly cutting out the things you don't. It's about being the boss of your money instead of letting your money, or your impulses be the boss of you. Start by looking at your bank statement tonight. Find just one ghost subscription and hit cancel. That one small win is the first step toward a much freer life. If you want to see exactly how I organized my own minimalist budget to save my first $10,000, watch this video next.